What you asked is at the core of why space research matters. Whenever we launch something into space, what we've observed is that the conditions, they're more challenging than they are here on Earth. And so if you can figure out how to successfully grow something in space, you can grow it successfully here on Earth. As part of my experiment, what we were looking at was how to identify genes that would make plants more robust. And it is my hope that in the future, this will be applied to being able to grow plants with minimal ideal conditions. That means maybe the water is less than what it needs to be, maybe the soil is less than what it needs to be. Because if you can grow it in space, you can most certainly grow it here on Earth. It allows us to gain a unique perspective on our environments, on the air, on pretty much everything around us. And so it's very difficult to improve what we don't decide to measure as humanity. We also have an environment that is constantly changing, and that data allows for us to make better informed decisions, whether that's about agriculture, or that's about how we choose to respond to changes, whether it's climate or pretty much anything and everything else. I will also say that increased connectivity allows for better just sharing of ideas, right? I mean, I'm able to be here and this message is getting broadcasted around the world because we now have more connectivity than we've ever had before. And so when I look at space, I look at every field as a space field. It's about space medicine. It's about space agriculture. It's about using space for the benefit of Earth. And so I've committed my life to going out and evangelizing by sharing my story of overcoming self-confidence and self-doubt and turning that into not only working for the International Space Agency, but founding an engineering company, which you guys may have seen the statistics. They're not so great about women founding businesses, but we're doing it and we're succeeding. I've now been operating my first for 12 years, to raising a couple million of venture capital, to even the idea of going to space. I had to spend several years trying to figure out how to do that. So I signed my contract to go to space in 2022. And over the course of 3 years, I had to go out and find institutions to partner with. I had to find agencies to work with. I had to pick experiments. And had I not had that NASA background, it really would have been overwhelming. And I get to sit here and say that not only was I successful, I flew in fighter jets, I jumped out of planes, I did a lot of things that scared my mom. I told her afterwards, right? Don't tell your mom you're jumping out of a plane before. Tell her after you survived. But I also was able to, during the course of my flight, execute several things in microgravity that will have impact long after I leave the Earth. And the first was being able to flight qualify hardware so other people could do research in microgravity with the same device I used. And the second was I was able to partner with the Brazilian Space Agency and Winston-Salem University and students who are similar in their academics to those who are working either supporting PhilSA or at the universities that we saw, to look at genetically sequencing crop plants in space, because I care about agriculture and food security in the future, and growing plants in hospitable environments so we can solve some of the challenges that we have here on Earth. And one of the things I was really proud to share here was not only has that research been published, but it's going to be presented in a peer-reviewed conference next month. And guess what? One of the students I met when I was here, I think his name is Harley, we're at the Fulbright session, will actually be at that conference. And that just goes to show you that the talent here is on par with the talent in the rest of the world. And I'm just so excited to be able to use my stories about entrepreneurship and mindset and overcoming all the personal challenges to help inspire PhilSA and the Philippines to fly their very first astronaut.